Gofundme is responding to claims of fraud and facing potential investigations from the state of Florida. The crowdfunding platform recently froze the Freedom Convoy page. Donors wanted to help Canadian truckers who may see less work due to the latest COVID vaccine mandates. Gofundme claimed the page went against community guidelines. But here's the issue. The website told donors submit a claim to get your money back or the cash will be given to another charity. That did not sit well with Governor DeSantis. He took to Twitter to say that he and Attorney General Ashley Moody will be investigating the, quote, deceptive practices.
Well, let's look at this right now. Most of you probably following this on social media, on YouTube and other social media sites. You know about the Freedom Convoy out there, a bunch of truckers, farmers, cowboys, residents of Canada who have a lot of questions for the Canadian government, and they're not being heard. Basically, they want a lot of the decisions that this particular administration in Canada has decided, and considering it basically, violating the rights of the people of Canada. And the thing about it is that they're sitting there protesting in front here. And of course, the mainstream media, the Canadian government and other are claiming these people are violent protesters, that they're supremacists. They are, every name in the book that they're going to throw. They're throwing the entire handbook that they use in this country against all these people on there. And when you look at the videos on there and they say, well, it's white supremacists, I'm looking at the videos and I see people of Hindu religion, Indian, Muslim, Black, Asian, French, there's a lot of different people there, that are there. I mean, the thing about it is they said, like the French President Trudeau is like, oh, it's a small minority. I said, that's not a small minority. That's a large percentage of the people. And the thing about it is, from what I understand, is that there's another convoy on its way to Washington right now that's headed in this direction. Because people are tired of the situation, tired of what's been going on, tired how our government leaders have been handling the situation. And when you go to question it, or if someone has a different opinion of the facts, they are deemed misinformation. They're banned. But the thing about it is that the people that come out with a lot of this information are experts as well. And that's, that's a major issue, especially in this country where we have freedom of speech. But there is another major situation, and this has to deal with the site GoFundMe. Now, the Freedom Convoy raised about $10 million on the GoFundMe page, which it was blocked off at one point. Then it was they released about $1 million worth to them, but then GoFundMe says we're not going to release any more because of what's going on there, that there's violence that basically violates our terms of service. That basically, if you want a refund, you can ask for a refund. But if you don't if you don't ask for a refund, we're just going to donate to another charity. How insane is that? How totally insane is that? This is an agency, that gives out, that collects money, makes money off of this, mind you. They do make money off of this. And they hand it over to people in need. And the thing about it is, in this situation, where is the violence? I got to ask GoFundMe that. Where is the situation that, that what you're saying that it broke the terms of service? There is nothing to that nature, because I'm going to bring this up. When BLM and the CHOP were organizing on GoFundMe, which they raised $90 million on your service, whereas people were killed, people were injured, properties were burnt, neighborhood was taken over, where people were practically held hostage in their own homes, which they couldn't leave the area for fear. Why weren't their funds shut down? See, that's the balance in there, where it's like, for one group, you'll allow it, and if it's the opposite, you're not going to allow it. Well, guess what? Guess what, GoFundMe? The AG of Florida, in accordance with the governor, Ron DeSantis, is calling for an investigation. Here's the AG on one of the news networks discussing this.
You had a business that essentially makes money off people, the goodness of their hearts, wanting to contribute to a cause that's important to them. You have a big business that encourages that. They take a percentage, not only a percentage of the donation, but money per donation. So they make money when folks raise money through their platform. And then, without any notice to anyone, and no donor knows this before they make a contribution, they're going to make some political judgment that they think this isn't a worthy cause anymore and just shut down after raising millions of dollars. Folks wanted to help in this protest against heavy-handed cram downs by government, as people have always done historically. When government seeks to overreach and take away freedoms of its people, people push back peacefully. And you have a business here who makes money off people wanting to donate to that and then just shutting it down.
And they are correct. This should be investigated. This is not the only time where a site like this, like a FundMe site that basically is doing this. I mean, you've seen this from the Comicsgate situation as well. That has happened to them. Certain other groups it has been happening to. And it's always on the other side of the aisle. When it comes to the far left, everything is within the rules. When it's to the right or in the center, everything has to be questioned straight on through. And then GoFundMe, after DeSantis says there's going to be an investigation, reverses its plans and says, well, we'll issue a refund after 10 days. Yeah, because you started to investigate. You got to remember one thing. You look at the convoy and you say, well, they're all bad people. But meanwhile, you have groups that have made money off GoFundMe that are now being investigated. And we're talking about BLM. And you may say, well, that's got to be the conservatives that are doing that. No, actually, it's California that's doing the investigation. And so is several other states. They have not filed their paperwork. They have bought homes throughout this country, in the Caribbean, and in Canada. They do not have a headquarters. The headquarters that was listed, if you go there and someone has gone there, they said the guard says they've never been there. We've sent mail back. They've never existed here in this building. So they falsified information. And who knows what else on that paper they falsified. And meanwhile, they've walked away with $60 million. Where is that $60 million? Even though California has told them to stop taking donations, they're still taking donations through Act Blue. So why GoFundMe, and this is 2020, allowed them to do this? Well, it's because basically GoFundMe has one mindset. And, investigations need to happen. Now, the donations have moved to another company called Give, Send, Go, and they've raised, it'll probably be about $3 million by the time this video airs. It's already over $2 million at the moment. And there are people showing up. If you watched our Odyssey show on Sunday, we had a video, a nice little video of a couple Polish women who came over from communist territory to leave oppression, to come to Canada, to live in Canada, and not to be oppressed. And now they're saying they're being oppressed here in Canada. So they, through the food that they could, sausage and donuts and bread and everything, and got into their vans and came here to serve food to the truckers. Truckers are very important. The farmers are very important. You know, this is the working class. These are the people that ensure that there's food on your table, the clothes that you wear on your back, you know, all that, you know, everything that you have, the TV, everything comes to you so you can purchase in the stores. Their voice needs to be heard. Everybody's voice needs to be heard. That's very important. And this is in Canada. And now it's starting to head in this direction. You know, this is very important, that these people need to be heard and not to be chastised, ostracized. You know, these are the things that are happening in Australia and several other countries. Now you see Canada is heading in that direction, similar to Australia. Meanwhile, where is the president of Canada right now? Trudeau. He's hiding right now, claims he caught COVID. Oh, well, you know, you were protesting to get the shot, you're telling people to get the shots, and then you got the shot, several, and the boosters and all that, and you still got COVID. So that's the question. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered properly. The same thing with the Spotify situation. Why can't Joe Rogan have guests on talking about certain topics that are very important to all of us? You know, and when you ask these people and it says, well, what is the misinformation? Tell me what is the misinformation. They can't tell you that because basically they don't know. A lot of these people that criticize the Freedom Convoy and Joe Rogan and many others, most of them don't even pay attention to what's going on. They just sit there and just spew out bullshit. So we'll see what's happening. If you want to donate, I mean, I'm not familiar with this Give, Send, Go, but like every other company, you know, if you're uncertain, do check them out. Make sure that they're doing something properly with the money that the people are getting it on there. And we hope that our government officials start to listen. You know, elections are around the corner in this country. Things are starting to change a bit. You know, it's probably going to get worse before it gets any better. And like I said, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And hopefully we'll get answers for that sooner than later.